Everybody, it's Pajama Life with our review of House of Spoils, Abigail, and Agatha All Along. Let's get started with House
All
of
yours,
Spoils.
baby.
Ooh, having to be head chef at my own restaurant. We have a beautiful site upstate.
We're pulling off a fine dining restaurant in the boonies. It is make or break. And we gotta make you the next big thing.
I've never seen greens like these.
Tell them we only want the best.
Got it. What's prosciutto?
The previous owner, you know about her?
Everyone around here has a witch lady story. I wouldn't eat anything from her garden.
Come this way. Come.
Look, there is something very wrong with this place.
You are
have
the
to-
chef.
Oh my God.
This is on you.
You continuing to have anxiety?
Oh, this feels different.
Ugh.
Hope you're all still hungry.
All right. Hey, Pat, say hello to the people.
Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Happy
we are.
Halloween.
Hello. Here we are ready to talk about some good stuff and some meh stuff.
Yeah, our buddy David may or may not be with us. So I'm Pajama Life, and we're going to talk about House of Spoils. Well, Pat, what did you think?
Well, I got to tell you for the truth about House of Spoils. I watched about 40 minutes of it, 20 to 40 minutes of it, somewhere in that ballpark. Did not grab me. It felt too menu. It felt like every other the trendy cool thing to do now is to make a movie about how high fine dining is so high pressure, and because the Bear has been so successful. I get it. They want to jump on that bandwagon, and to be honest, I've never been a big fan of any of the Blumhouse productions. They just feel kind of formulaic.
No way. You're wrong on that. Oh,
okay.
It was good. I thought the House of Spoils, while a little derivative of the menu, which of course was a tour de force. But I thought it was like a cute cousin of the menu. I thought this had I think at the beginning, it really kind of mirrored it because we, have that on our minds. But I think once you get into it and into the story about, it's a very feminist look at women in the kitchen and kind of the backstabby life of kitchen creation and what it means to be a one with the earth. And the original witches were really healers in some communities that people would go to, but didn't conform to the male patriarchy standards of the day. So they got labeled witches. So I thought it was really interesting that this is that kind of take on it, and how the healing power of herbs and vegetables and food can be. So it's a little more nuanced than what Pat was able to watch, since she didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I encourage you to watch the whole thing and let us know. I mean, there's some real creepy stuff and just don't eat during this movie if you're watching it. Don't eat. You're going to be completely grossed out. I had to watch it in the afternoon after I ate because I did not want to be grossed out. And there are definitely some gross out scenes, but I love Blumhouse. They always manage to surprise me, which is different. And this, I was kind of like, Pat, but it came through and was something more than what I expected, which is right up there with Blumhouse Productions for me. So for me, it's a mixed review. Pat, I encourage you to watch it, and I liked it. So definitely take a look for yourself and see. It's definitely, this is becoming a genre, a new genre of its own. So I want to see what happens next, the next big movie like this. All right. Up next is Our Girl Is Back, and this one was a heartbreaker. Agatha All Along. Let's take a look.
You know, we really kind of hated each other in the beginning, but now...
But now?
Huh?
Lilia! Where do you go?
Are you all right, ma'am? Where's Agatha? Where's Rio?
The son of the Scarlet Witch kicked us off the road.
What?
You're confused again. It's okay.
I'm not confused. When I was a child, I experienced my life out of sequence. Oh! Oh! You're alive. Relax, baby. We're cool.
We are?
Hey, things are looking up.
Oh my god!
What did I do wrong? I know what I did wrong.
Oh, Pat, what did you think of this episode?
Really, yeah, great moving it forward. Wonderful. The plot device of jumping forward and backwards in time, and getting some backstory to the character. Obviously, we had the I can't remember if it was last week because I missed last week. Apologies to everybody. Where they definitely laid out that the Aubrey Plaza character is Lady Death. And yes, that's a big deal in the Marvel Universe. Death was Thanos' lover for quite a few years. And that's why he wanted to kill half the universe.
Oh.
Made a whole big movie series off of this. Yeah, that was part of the first actual comics Infinity Wars. He was trying to please Lady Death, Mistress Death.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting, side views coming at this for me, knowing some of the background of this, and, also, hey, nice costuming. We obviously have some Disney properties getting spoofed there, or they've, got the money to buy the rights to do Glinda the Good Witch. And, also you have,
Maleficent. Is that what Maleficent?
Yes, that was Maleficent from Cinderella. Then you have the witch from the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch, and of course I want to say the one from Tangled, Griselda, or it might have been Snow White. I couldn't tell really. They didn't show much of her. She was the focus of the episode. So really interesting stuff. I love where we're going with it. 2 more episodes are going to show, I guess, back to back. They're releasing them both before Halloween. So something to look forward to this week, because next week we'll have 2 of these to talk about, and they're going to wrap it up. I'm kind of curious to see where they go with it, if they make it through the Witch's Road, if Tom gets his powers back, or gets his memory back, or his other body gets his life back. We'll see how this is all going. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So really good stuff. Love to see where it's going. I'm enjoying all of it.
Yeah, it was really a fun episode too, because you got to understand Lilia more in this episode. And I thought that was, the great Patty Lupone. Okay, this character could have been, played so many different ways, but the way she brought it all together in this episode was really just, you see why she's the queen of Broadway. She can just do it all. And the trying to piece together. Now, y'all know, if you watch Pajama Life, your girl cannot stand time travel stuff. But the way that they did this, by having her be kind of a misfit of time, where she is back and forth in different phases of her life, was really very interesting, and trying to piece together the mystery that they made of this. That was really fun to do too. And so this one, and definitely figuring out that Rio is death, which is why Agatha and her are in cahoots. Now I understand that statement, because as these people go, she gets to take the bodies to wherever she takes bodies. I don't know if she literally takes them to heaven or hell, but she does. She gets the prize or food or whatever it is she gets, power or whatever. So that's what makes me suspect that Agatha is not good at all, because she's feeding her, just like you said, probably Thanos did. So I think that is really interesting. And I thought it was kind of a nice thing to see Billy Teen as Maleficent. They didn't make him like a wizard. He could have been like a wizard, but
Harry Potter, yes.
yeah, but they made him Maleficent, which I thought was a pretty cool kind of mix of genders there. But I couldn't figure out who Shashir was. And is she the one who gave Snow White the poison apple, or Hansel and Gretel's witch?
Yeah.
She could have been that. She could also been the one like that. That was some bull crap. Why couldn't she be Madame LeBeau from the voodoo priestess witch of New Orleans? I mean, make her pretty. Come on now. So especially the one who's into beauty, I just thought that was a little but I thought every part of this hit the right note. So definitely, if you haven't seen Agatha All Along, this is the penultimate kind of episode before our doubleheader next week. And definitely, is it going to be a just one-shot limited series like WandaVision is? And I kind of hope so, because I want them to wrap it up nice and neat, but then I'll be sad that I wouldn't be able to catch more episodes. So we'll see, but definitely I think it's a big old thumbs up from both of us on this episode. So definitely take a look at Agatha All Along. And next week we'll wrap it up with our doubleheader episode and season finale. All right. And finally, take a bite out of crime with Abigail. Let's take a look.
Man, this place is dope, right?
Come have a drink with us, Joey.
Gotta go check on the kids soon. Maybe after. I'm here to make sure you're safe.
What's your name? Mine's Abigail.
Do you know what a pinky promise is? If you behave and do as we say, I pinky promise you, it'll all be over soon.
Joey?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about what's gonna happen to you.
Shit, we gotta get out of here.
Guys?
Guys?
Oh, no!
We kidnapped a fucking vampire. A ballerina vampire.
I fucking hate ballet.
That was gross. That was gross. I really enjoyed Abigail. I thought it was a cute take on the vampire flicks, kind of a mix of the evil kid and story, and like the kid in Interview with the Vampire. If they just kind of left her in New Orleans and said, "Peace out, B." But I thought the little girl was a great actress, and that she wasn't like silly or goofy. She was a little predator, and I like that she really was very methodical in what she was doing. And the other actors, I was surprised to see, I think it's that Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey. as the bad cop. I was like, oh, but when I saw his phone, I knew what was up with that dude. So, but I thought it was an interesting take on the story and something a little different and fun. Kind of in the vein of Megan, the way Megan kind of had the twist in it. I thought this had a nice little twist about an evil kid. So definitely, I think it's something to watch. Pat, what did you think?
It wasn't bad. I mean, the vampire child thing was done, I think, better with Interview with the Vampire with Claudia. The Kristen, I'm drawing a blank on now, Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Yeah, Kristen Dunst.
Thank you, Kirsten Dunst. She was really good as Claudia, and this it had a John Wick element feel to it. All these super specialized people that are doing all this stuff, and then her father's so incredibly powerful that he'll hunt you down and kill you, literally, because he's a vampire also. But I mean, there was I did enjoy it to a certain extent. I mean, it wasn't great. I'm glad I saw it on my free or my subscription rather than going to a movie and paying for a movie to see that. But the actress that played the girl, the little vampire, was convincingly cute and feral by turns. So I mean, she was really good.
Feral is a good word. Yeah.
And and Dan Stevens, also from Beauty and the Beast, the live action, he was the Beast. Really, I thought he brought a nice evil, a proper evil to it, and of course you knew that the one girl was going to, I mean,
but no one was all good or all bad.
No. No. I want to say they played the tragic, I'm a drug addict and I'm trying to recover. That's why I'm here, is because I'm trying to recover, but I got to get the money and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but she was
obviously the sympathetic character out of the group. Maybe the drug addict who got it first. Maybe he was, maybe the driver. He might have been sympathetic to a certain extent, but everybody else was to a certain extent horrible. So I knew who was going to walk out of there at the end. I didn't know how. So I mean, that's the thing about most horror movies, to be really honest, is you got
100 years
jump scares. Jump scares. You've got. I mean, there. You know what movie really actually told it the way it was? Scream. Scream was one for just laying out how horror movies work. Scream was right there. That one speech by Matthew Lillard about how it works and everything. True, to a certain extent, I would say.
But
pretty true. Pretty true.
But isn't that everything though? I mean, there's not a lot new. That's why it's interesting when there's a new take on it, but if there was a new take, that's a twist.
I'm okay with twists and stuff because they turn the genre on its end. But currently, and this to a certain extent didn't do that either. I mean, I don't know. For a horror movie to really grab my attention, it has to be out there or really just hits everything perfect. So this wasn't bad. I mean, it's a C. Yeah. I wouldn't give it an A or a B. I mean, I didn't feel. It was average. C is an average. So yeah, it was a C.
I thought it was a B-B. I thought it was fun to see. This little kid jumping on people and biting them. I just thought it was kind of fun to see her be a feral little beast. But also very taunting and, cruel with her words too. So definitely, I think, check out Abigail. It'll be something you can sink your teeth into. There's going to be a lot of them tonight, baby. Now, since this is our Halloween episode, I was hoping that our buddy David might be able to come on, but let's talk about some of our favorites. And this year, I decided to do a little poll on questions to see what we have. And first up is, what is the greatest or your favorite scary thriller? I guess I'll go first. For me, it is The Cell. I was completely, you talk about something new and different and blew my head off, and scared the bejeebies out of me. I literally could not sleep that night. It was so visually stunning, but such an interesting, different, scary serial killer thriller, but in the mind, I was like, wow. And then the images, are you kidding me? For me, The Cell. And it was just Vincent D'Onofrio and even Jennifer Lopez. It was incredible. Pat, what's your favorite scary thriller?
The Shining.
The classic.
The Shining is so good. Stanley Kubrick's vision of a Stephen King. Stephen King, first off, is one of the best authors. So he had a stellar story to work with before he even picked up it. And this guy is like a legend. And he took this and that made Jack Nicholson spookier than hell. That one scene, there's one scene that everybody's seen, and it's like a 3-minute shot of the library, and Jack Torrance or Jack Nicholson sitting there just staring, kind of twitching a bit, and it's just this long, slow zoom in as it comes closer and closer. It's a 3-minute thing. And you want to talk about someone who figured out how to do suspense? That was the way you do it. You don't just do a lot of jump scares. And there were some in there where, the chopping through the door and Danny running into the two girls in the hallways. Yeah, there was a lot of straight scary stuff, but that suspense level of just that, of the way they kept building and building and building as the madness took more and more hold of Jack Torrance.
Jack
super
Nicholson.
Well, Jack Torrance was the name of the character. Yeah. So just the talking to the ghosts. Everything about that was just, it created such a great mood of isolation and madness, which was perfect.
And the producer and I were talking about it, and it's a metaphor for alcoholism. So then when you think about it like that too, it just on another layer when you watch it, it's like, wow, that's really interesting too, about all the different phases, all the different things that happen when someone's an alcoholic in your family. And and Shelley, we don't give her enough credit, and God rest her soul, she passed away I think this year. Shelley Duvall was amazing in this. She captured that sense of powerlessness and helplessness as you watch a loved one fall deeper and deeper into madness. And I think my scariest scene of that is when she's got the bat and she's like, stay away, and he's just doing like this to her. That's not, but it's more threatening than just a hand grab. She definitely deserves credit too for creating that terror in that in the movie. And definitely two great ones. Okay, I agree. Next up is the greatest monster animal horror movie. Pat, what is it for you?
Monster or animal horror? Okay, well, I gotta tell you, I really liked Signs. From M. Night Shyamalan with Mel Gibson. There's horror monsters in, but again, it was the long, slow buildup of the creepiness and what's going on. And you got Mel Gibson as a defrocked priest who's trying to come to terms with his loss of faith, and you've got Joaquin Phoenix, his brother, who you don't know what the heck's going on with him, and then the weird kid who's leaving water all over the place. I mean, everything about that really did a great job. And it's one of the things that M. Night Shyamalan was very good at, was laying all the blocks all over the place, and you don't understand what they are until you get to like the part where you can turn around the corner and like, oh, it's a house, that kind of thing. He built all the things you needed to know into the movie, and you just didn't know it until the end. Again, I mean, everybody at that point had been through The Sixth Sense and was watching his movies for this, and you're thinking there's something you're missing, but you couldn't pick it up. But at the end, you're like, oh man, that makes sense. But it was a great movie as far as the whole idea of the crop circles and everything coming out. And it just kept all the unknowns. And that one scene where Joaquin Phoenix is watching the TV in the closet because he doesn't want to scare the rest of the family, and the rest of the family is trying to avoid this horrible thing. And then there's that still photograph from some kid's birthday party in San Paulo or something, and you see the alien, and you're like, ah! And man, it is still super good.
Oh my gosh. And that movie was so interesting because of the backstory too, with them trying to justify and the guy trying to find his faith again. And it was like, wow. And I thought one of the most moving scenes was at the dinner table when they were eating, and then he's just slopping food on the table, and then they just all grab each other and hug. I just thought that was super powerful. And yeah, okay, I can see that. For me, it was arachnophobia. I used to like spiders before arachnophobia. And then it was like, oh my God, all those spiders are so creepy. And the way they did it too was, it was just, and then the whole town was attacked by these little bitty spiders. And then, it's just like, I can't stand it. I can't stand bugs. So that one, even though it was like, kind of a small movie, that movie did it right in terms of,
was that
creepy
Dante,
animal horror.
Was that John Dante, the producer, or because Goodman was in it, I'm pretty sure.
Who was it? Not Scott Bakula, but one of those type of guys was the guy in it. It wasn't Bill Pullman, or was it Bill Pullman? It might have been. But
Jeff
yeah,
Daniels.
It was so scary. Just And then after that, never liked spiders after that. Ugh, yuck. I used to love spiders as a kid, like Daddy Longlegs or something. And then to think Daddy Longlegs was like, and then the two people in the chair watching Jeopardy, and then I was just like, these spiders, so creepy. And I think it didn't have a happy ending. I think at the end, like, some of the spiders still escaped. So it was like, oh my God. Too scary. All right. Ugh. I'm like, I'm all creeped out. Okay. Next up, the greatest horror movie sequel. For me, okay, so I have kind of two. I want to see, Pat, what's yours? I want to see if we have the same one. What's your favorite horror movie sequel?
I've got two that kind of are related, though, to a certain extent. The original best horror movie sequel would have been Evil Dead 2.
The Sam Raimi I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Oh.
I mean, it was the beginning of the horror comedy thing, which is just absolutely, and which relates to my second one, Zombieland 2, because
again, come on, not Zombieland 2, double tap.
Cardio. Just saying. It was I like, but I mean, if they have a proper sense of ridiculousness about them, and I enjoy that.
Oh, you're ridiculous for that response. the aliens. Aliens! Come on, man.
That wasn't a horror. That's not. But that's not a horror
It is
movie.
horror. What are you talking about?
No, that was an action movie, 100%.
That was horror. Alien is horror. Aliens is even more horrible.
No,
it's
it was an action movie. It was an action movie.
Horror. I boo on you.
Okay, you're wrong. Whatever.
My other one now. This one might be controversial. Hellbound, Hellseeker 2.
Those are all horrible. Oh my God, they were.
Oh my
bad.
God.
So bad.
I love the movie. Hellraiser was amazing. Clive Barker, nobody can touch him in terms of horror. I mean, I think it's him and Stephen King are two of the best. But I just love the story. I love the backstory, and then that hell sequence. Oh, it was just so creepy. And then the elements of what's going on. And then the funny part of the scene to me was he's like, yeah, your father's dead. Dead is dead, Christy. Of course he's dead. I just thought that was awesome. But yeah, Hellbound, Hellseeker. It was amazing. Or it could have been Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. That was really cool too. Okay, whatever, Pat. Mine were better. All right, next up, we have the greatest space sci-fi horror. So, Pat, what do you think in terms of space sci-fi horror?
Well, you were close with the last one, Alien, the first Alien, the one that Ridley Scott did, not the James Cameron one. The Ridley Scott, that was a horror movie in space because it was all about the suspense. It was all about, you never saw anything till the very end. Okay. Well, you had the exploding chest thing, which plays right into the horror genre. And you want to talk about something that has been imitated, spoofed, whatever, so much. The scene where he's getting blown out of his chest. I mean, Spaceballs, everything's been through that. So good as far as just a creepy monster movie in space. Yeah. I mean, I have no notes to give to that. It is just really wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and for the time, remember that was what, 78, 79, maybe early 80s?
It was 80s. It was 80s.
It was very, sure. I mean, the technical part of it was really good too, because that I saw as a kid and was terrified. I mean, terrified of that. So, 79. Yeah, okay. I can get with that. For me, Event Horizon. Oh my goodness.
Sam Neill, yeah.
That is so scary. I think I've only seen it twice. And it just creeps me out and scares me so bad. That one was a really unexpected kind of scary. I just didn't think it would be that scary, and then I was terrified the whole way through. Space is really scary. And then you get space madness and horror on top of it. It was just scary. So definitely Event Horizon, and I had also Alien as well. So definitely space is a pretty creepy and can be horror-filled place to be. I still want to go though. All right, and finally, the most evil movie child. Kind of horror movie. What say you, Pat? Evil kid movie.
I mean, there's two of them that you would go with for.
Okay, let's see if we agree.
I had to kind of balance between the two, and I went with The Exorcist.
Oh, Okay.
Because that was scary
Yeah,
as hell. The
that's
first,
a
and you want to
classic.
talk about one of the movies that really started the whole genre of what we currently consider horror movies. Exorcist right in there, and I mean it was, and the reason why, because it was so good. The secondary runner up in my book would have been The Omen, the first Omen.
Yeah.
Because I mean that kid, well, he's pretty evil. He's kind of the Antichrist, so yeah, he's probably not a great kid. Going to be a little misbehaving, you know. But The Exorcist was just so shocking, and I mean it really took that whole innocent child into this horrible demon infested thing. So I mean it really did a great job at that. So you know, I'm going to go with Exorcist.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe now looking back, my grandmother took us to see it.
Oh my god!
And we were kids.
She didn't have to. She didn't have to be. She didn't have to put.
This.
She didn't have to put you to bed. That's why. So it's no big deal.
Oh yeah,
Home
because
to
I
mom.
mean, she probably shouldn't, because I was up all night scared. So that was really terrifying. The one I could pick in a runner up is The Omen. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I went to church so much after that. It was so scary. That little boy, I mean, that little chubby, cute face. And then when the woman committed suicide, and before she said, "This is all for you, Damien, it's all for you," and then she jumped, and you could see that creepy little smile on his face. I mean, that was just perfect. I mean, that was like a perfect scene. And the you know, just that 666 sign that people, I swear that's the reason I don't have a tattoo today, boy. You ain't getting the Antichrist on me. So, but everything about that movie was the right blend of just great actors of that time too. I mean, Gregory Peck and I forget was Richard Dreyfuss in it? I can't remember, but
he was in The Exorcist, I think.
Okay, he was in one of them, and just perfect for that. So go back and watch the original. Don't watch this new stuff, because it doesn't have the proper level of playing it straight and terrifying. I mean, now they kind of rely a lot on the special effects, but this was just a terrifying story, and I think it's a novel, so check that out. But then the sequels were terrible, so don't look at the sequels. But then my final one, the other one was the Bad Seed. And the original, I think it was in the 40s, I think, or 50, about a sociopathic child killer going around killing people. Was fantastic. I mean, they've redone it several times, but it's still like one of the scariest crazy evil kid stories that you'll see. But the only thing about it is they had the movie code back then. So then, you know, the evil people had to kill themselves or die in some kind of way. And, you know, the way they ended it was trash. But up until that last minute or so, it is super terrifying. So definitely the Bad Seed is the best of the evil kid kind of movies. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our terrifying episode. And next week, we will be back with a little lighter fare with the wrap up of Only Murders in the Building. And we also wrap up Agatha All Along. And then we'll see what else we want to talk about. And Pat, you got some final words for us?
Everybody get out there and enjoy these last few days of nice weather before the winters comes along. It's I hate to sound like a member of House Stark, but winter's coming.
No. I think it'll be light. And actually go out, have some fun, eat lots of candy, brush your teeth and floss afterwards. But have a safe and happy and fun Halloween. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.